Welcome to Almost Here, Round the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Future technologies poised to transform our lives for better or worse are the focus of this podcast. Almost here means these technologies are now here and starting to be used, or just around the corner, from Bitcoin to artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Future Tech Podcast. I'm your host, Juliette Lamar, and joining us today, we have three wonderful guests, all from the company Ubitquity LLC. We have Nathan Wozniak. He is the founder and CEO. We also have Anastasia Maslovina. She is the client account manager. And we have Sam Canyon. He is the COO, all joining us today for Ubitquity LLC. Welcome, everyone.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So whoever wants to take this question first, you can go ahead and start us off, but give our listeners a little bit of a brief overview about Ubitquity and what you all do there.
Sure, ladies first. Anastasia.
Yeah,
like to go ahead?
So Ubitquity, yeah, of course. Ubitquity LLC is the first enterprise-ready blockchain-secured platform for real estate record keeping. So we are helping the real estate industry, come into this new age of blockchain technology and really use this tech to make their databases more efficient, more transparent, easier to manage, and a lot cheaper to maintain.
Fantastic. So what are some of the specific services that or specific solutions you're trying to provide?
Okay. Well, I was going to say that we have an API, application programming interface code that we recently built last May with version 1.0 of our software, which allows us really to take any kind of records that people would send us or organizations would send us. So it could be a land records office, a title company, or any other kind of organization that's looking to really have a parallel backup of their data. And so some of the organizations we've worked with have been really only looking for us to back up a hash, the encrypted hash of that data, and then upload it to our platform, and then thus whatever blockchain they want to have it backed up to. We as an organization are blockchain agnostic, so we support blockchains such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperledger, Postchain, and a few other ones that we're sort of testing in our R&D department. But we've been working with interesting organizations thus far. So we'll talk a little bit more about the news that we have regarding an industry that's brand new that we've actually been working with. So.
All right. So with this, there's a lot of problems that are going on with real estate, and so these are some things that you're trying to solve. Tell us a little bit about, I guess, the platform, the API, how people can use it, and what exactly they need to sign up.
Sure. I think this will be a good one for Sam because he generally deals with these on a more daily basis than I am.
Yeah, for sure. So generally our target customers are, groups like county recorders or real estate agents, or we've also worked actually with, I can't name it right now, but one central government in a South Asian country, which is, trying to make the whole process, more efficient. To bring title to the blockchain as well as to, make the whole closing, time a lot faster and a lot cheaper. So generally our clients have sent us an RFP and we work with them to integrate the API into their existing workflow. Now here's the thing, right? So if the API or our process required people to do, more work, that wouldn't really be advantageous. So our whole process right now creates parallel records and really ensures that, the client, the user, does not right now have to do more stuff to move their records to the blockchain. We make sure it's a pretty seamless procedure so that, they have their existing legacy database as well as their stuff in the blockchain too.
Very, very cool. And do you have any particular use cases that you'd like to share that you are proud of and think to highlight this service in a great way?
Absolutely. I'll take this one. So this is Nathan Wozniak. We were contacted last September by an organization called AIC Title Service. And AIC Title Service is actually a title company for the aviation industry. We have been working with them in stealth, in discussions and doing some early tests. And so we've started working with them, I guess, as of April of this year, and then we finally announced publicly very recently that we're working with them officially. So this is pretty much America's most respected aviation title and escrow provider, and they handle a lot of transactions. They handle a lot of data, and so we've worked with them very carefully and with their team, and happy to announce that we have everything up and running for their new aircraft closing room solution. So it's basically documents that would be recorded on behalf, parts of title and registration process for the aircraft closing room and on behalf of their clients. So that was something that we actually announced pretty much, I think it was last week, officially on one of our press releases. And that is the first time that we know of that a blockchain technology company is working in the aviation industry.
No, that is so cool. Congratulations. And is that the little teaser you gave us earlier about the new industry?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And I think that aviation is something that, you have to be on point. You have to be precise, and having excellent records that are kept through blockchain and you can easily access them is something that is totally game changing for aviation. So that is fantastic that you're the first ones there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And, besides the fact that you guys, are breaking new ground in a lot of industries, what are some of the other wonderful reasons why maybe people should choose you over a different company that might be offering a similar solution?
Sorry, I guess I kind of cut out there on my end. If Sam or Anastasia want to take that question?
Yeah, I can take that right now. So let's, I guess, do an edit. So hey, it's Sam here. So the question was, why should a company choose us to help put their records on the blockchain? Well, the key thing is we are, proven, right? We do have, as Nathan mentioned, AIC, which is a really large company, well respected, and there was a press release that came out about a week ago talking about how they are one of our partners and how they're a big believer in blockchain. The other important thing actually is we aren't doing an ICO. So our competitors out there have chosen to go the route of, ICO. Now, while ICOs do have their merit, and there are some great ICOs out there, the problem is with regulation right now, it's really tough to ensure that your ICO is totally legal. So those guys have spent a lot of time firefighting and trying to put out, some of the legal inquiries and the heat they've gotten from going the ICO route. And we didn't go that way. We are totally bootstrapped, so no ICO at all. And I think that makes us, really competitive insofar that we are, fully committed to working with companies to make sure the records are on the blockchain, and we're not distracted by, legal challenges to our corporate structure thanks to ICOs.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point, Sam. And if I could add to that as well, this is Nathan Wozniak, is that, when I started this company 3 years ago, I really wanted to ensure that we took a very pragmatic approach and that we really narrowed our focus. I would be lying if I said that we weren't a very broadly focused when we started. We were experimenting with different tech and different potential things with identification and passport backup services. But then we kind of came to the conclusion that we needed to be able to just focus and solve one small problem, which we found is actually a very big problem, which is having accurate record backups on the blockchain. Be it obviously the real estate industry to start. But the ICO thing is problematic. There's been some releases of information by the SEC regarding these SaaS that everyone thinks is the new safe with simple agreement for future tokens is like the thing that's going to save them. I think it's based off of the safe model, and it's problematic. It opens up companies up to potential legal issues. And, we focused on really bootstrapping our platform, as Sam said, and most importantly, not even taking investor money until recently. We had some private investment from some private accredited investors, but, not chasing the money as well. And we find that so many companies, and we were guilty of this, a couple of years ago, chasing VC money without actually having a bootstrap platform in place, without having clients. We scrapped all that. Our number one focus is building a proper API, software as a service platform, which is now in version 1.0 beta, and then ensuring that we're just solving problems for our clients rather than chasing the money, because the money will come, but you need to actually build something that's worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that that's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned while working in this space? I mean, I'm sure there's been many lessons.
I'd say that along with having the right team, that's always it's always a challenge for I think people in industry, is ensuring that the solid team is the one you want to work with long term. I think with startups, I think you always go through some people, but I think now the people we have with our team, and most of the people on our team have been here since day one, including Sam. Sam has been with us. He started as an advisor and now has worked all the way up to being COO. But you sometimes with startup companies, it's very volatile in the beginning. Having the right team in place to make things happen is incredibly important. I'd say secondly, us focusing not on the ICOs and keeping our legal liabilities limited is also been helpful too.
No, absolutely.
Hey, it's Sam here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so actually for a third point, one of the good lessons we've learned is that it's important to be blockchain agnostic. Now, it's unfortunate that people associate things like, Ethereum and Bitcoin with cryptocurrencies and scam, right? Even though that it's great that we have cryptocurrencies, but Ethereum is more than just a cryptocurrency, right? It's also a blockchain technology. And so we've had clients that come to us and say, look, we love Ethereum. We know its merit technically, but unfortunately, as we're a big, company, we can't be associated with cryptocurrency, even though Ethereum is both a cryptocurrency as well as a blockchain too. So being able to use other kind of blockchain technology that does not have a currency attached to it, like Postchain, Hyperledger, has actually helped us out a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about how you think the next 3 years are going to go. What kind of plans do you have for the future with this company and the new places you're going? And we got Ubitquity Labs. That's exciting. Give us a little bit of a futuristic snapshot.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in and Sam, Anastasia, if you want to add to that, that'd be great. I think that long term, I guess in the midterm, we'd like to have more counties signed up. We do have some deals in the go that are in stealth. Obviously, being able to announce those partnerships would be great. I would like also, and we've been talking with the company. I'll say their name. They're called Proppy, and in fact, Proppy is one of our quote indirect competitors. But their staff are fantastic. Natalie and I talk all the time, and we talk about being able to create industry standards for blockchain record keeping. I think that the industry as a whole needs to be more collaborative, and I think that us working with Proppy and others within the industry and others that pop up to create some standards would be phenomenal. We have been lucky enough to have some fantastic support from MIT. MIT Center for Real Estate has had us at their panels. One of our advisors, Avi Spielman, wrote his master thesis. And I think if we have some collaboration from MIT, Columbia, even foundations that have worked with us, like the New America think tank, not foundation, excuse me, a think tank, would be really helpful for us to kind of get standards going. But I think long term, it would be being able to really have more integration into other industries. We started off obviously with real estate, and then we discovered use cases in the aviation space. I mean, wouldn't it be nice if we had an API that could link into all of these different systems and in the plumbing of these different systems without people actually knowing it was there? Like, okay, some industry is using blockchain tech. Well, they don't know it's actually powered by Ubitquity and would actually allow us to be, quote, ubiquitous. So that's something that we're looking forward to. Besides that, I don't want to take up any ideas that Anastasia and Sam have or any, monopolize this question. But I think the other idea would be, once we get we've been testing our white label API reselling service and being able to have companies, more companies actually utilizing this and implementing blockchain tech. Right now, we have some companies that are beta testing it, but once we launch this in a little bit more stable format, I think that'll be something that'll be helpful.
And Anastasia and Sam, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely a very big project of trying to transfer all of this information onto the blockchain to, again, make it permanent, make it auditable, timestamp, distributed, encrypted, all of those good things. So as we move forward into that, I think the future is very open in in what we can accomplish and where we can go. I mean, eventually, like I see the real estate industry, and I see a lot of these industries taking on not just the like record keeping part, but also starting to transact directly as peer-to-peer, because that was originally what the blockchain was created for. So we might see peer-to-peer transactions for home sales, car sales, airplane sales, etc. But I do think that's probably somewhere in the future, like in the next maybe 10 years or so.
Absolutely. Hey, and Sam, do you want to add a little bit about the idea of a title plant? This is something that we've been really exploring as well over the years.
Yeah, for sure. So right now, title plants are a very important part of the closing process for any kind of real estate deal. But unfortunately, these title plants are stuck in pretty much the analog era. So if we can help title plants, bring that technology to the blockchain and bring that process to the blockchain, it will really speed up the whole process of trying to close a deal. As well, right now, title plants involve, as I said earlier, analog technology. So stuff is still stored literally on paper in some file folder somewhere. So if we can bring that not just to a database, but to the blockchain, that will really speed things up.
Absolutely. If I could add to that as well, we've been seeing that there is a move towards digitizing a lot of these title plants, or an abstract plant, where they have all these records, right? County court records, bankruptcy, probates, attorney opinions, and all of that. And we've been working with some people who have experience with title plants. One of our advisors runs a title and escrow company that has been working with some of the southern states that have more of a title plant system set up. And so we have that in, and we've gotten really firsthand knowledge of how that whole process works. Imagine being able to create, I don't know if national is really a best word for it, but a county to county scalable blockchain title plan that could work with, say, maybe not counties, but several counties or the state. I know that there's some initiatives out there by different companies that are trying to do these, international land records systems. We think that's really kind of short-sighted, and it kind of demonstrates that some of these organizations don't really understand how the industry works. You would find that some land records offices will have different deeds and recording requirements and form fields that are created when they're trying to process all this data. And it varies from county to county, let alone state. And if we could create something that was a bit more scalable, I think that would be a good way to go about it. Title plant might be that solution. Absolutely.
So in wrapping it up, you guys, where is the best place for people to start using your services? Maybe if they want to become investors, tell us a bit about that, and then also how to connect with you through social media.
Yeah. So you guys can first of all, join our community on Telegram. We have a Ubitquity community on Telegram with a lot of supporters, and that's some clients come in through that portal as well. And that's t.me/Ubitquity_IO. And then you can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and on Medium too. And on Medium, Nathan is usually the one who posts all of our announcements and PR stuff.
Yeah, and we're also on LinkedIn and YouTube. We have some great YouTube clips. Anastasia's done some phenomenal short clips about what we do. The best way for organizations to reach us if they want to invest is, we'll get to the investment part. If they want to contact us to utilize our services, they can just go to our website, which is www.ubitquity.io. That's Ubitquity with a T, .io. They can go to contact, or they can go to sign up. Now, there's the sign up form, and allows them to fill out just a simple sign up form, and we will send them a request for proposal template, which they can fill out. And if we think it's a good fit, certainly we'll explore that. And anyone who wants to invest, and again, I want to be very clear that we're only speaking, and this isn't like an offer to buy. I'm just saying this on the phone because answering your question. It's for accredited U.S., American, and global angel investors, VCs. They can just contact us at info@ubitquity.io.
Fantastic. Well, Nathan, Anastasia, Sam, thank you all so much for joining us here today on Future Tech Podcast and sharing your knowledge and your passion about this really unique company.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Everyone, that was Nathan Wozniak, Anastasia Maslovia, and Sam Tanyan from Ubitquity LLC. Check out their website, This has been Juliette Lamar. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
You have been listening to Almost Here, Around the Corner Future Technology podcast with Richard Jacobs. Subscribe to this podcast, post a review to discover more future technologies that are poised to transform our lives for better or worse, such as Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, blockchain, virtual reality, and more.